Okay, looks like we're live. Let's get back to work. I believe I was working on shields again. So just before I had to end abruptly, I'm pretty sure what I did was, hold on, where is it? Ah, here it is. I set up the animation side of the shield system, or you know, having or using a shield. Just the animation side, not the programming side. Yeah, here's what I got so far. So here's player animation complete. The player when he's completely idle. Here's him when he's holding a shield but not necessarily using it. Don't actually have a shield model on him, but it's like imagine he's carrying a shield right there. Using a shield. Is like that. And I can change the direction of this. Actually, I think I did those after the stream at some point. But yeah, what I can do is I can point the shield, point the imaginary shield up, down, left, and right. Ooh, what's going on with the leg there? I feel like I shouldn't be doing that. Uh, no, no biggie. I can fix it some other time. For now, the main thing I'm worried about, the only thing I really care about is the shield arm moving according to the direction that I intend for that. Like you point the stick. Well, at least it will be like that when I'm done with it. If I activate using shield standing, it's basically the character. So this is only going to be active when the player is like either is basically when the player is holding L2 or left trigger. It's like when the player is doing that, he is going to be he's going to be using an animation where some of these I could probably delete because they're redundant. Oh, where is it? Ah, here. He's gonna be kind of like this, where he's in like a position where where the player is like kind of like straightforward, left, right. So imagine like this, and then I'm gonna find it again. It's down here, right? Like that. This will be active when you're holding left trigger and usually when you're locked onto an enemy. Okay, let's go back to normal. Okay, let's get to work with programming the shield, the actually using the shield. Okay. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do this. I'm not sure if I'm going to make a new machine state for the shield or if I'm going to try to incorporate it into normal state. Because my plan is for when the player is like just pressing the shield button, he can't move and he could just aim the shield. But if you're locked onto an enemy or if you're like holding L2, then you can move around by strafing. But that is like that is a normal state behavior. So I'd have to like add that functionality into normal state if I was to enable that. So what I'm thinking right now is I'll kind of do both. So if you're targeting an enemy and you're holding your shield, or if you're then it'll use normal state while the player has the shield raised. But if you just press shield while not locked onto anything or holding L2, or while not holding L2, then it's a completely different player state where the player can't move, but you can aim the shield instead. So I'm going to start by making the shield state. So I'm going to start off by making another state, basically just a node. Oh, actually, I'm going to check and see if I have anything. Dodge, long jump. I can delete this. I don't get to use it anymore. I don't think. Hanging, rear hanging, climb, waist climb. I should probably combine these, to be honest. They don't need to be separate. They're both the same idea, but like at different heights and different animations. Ladder state, I believe I worked on that last time, or at least, or a time before that. At some point during one of these streams. Just out of curiosity. Nah. Knockback state. So this is like, you hit by attack, you get knocked back. Simple. But I feel like I should probably just incorporate that into normal state. I might have already done that, but I can't remember right now. Melee attack, ranged attack, dead state. This just activates when you die. Push pull, for pushing and pulling blocks. Target range game state. This is like a single use thing that activates when you're playing the target range game. Jump for ledge. This is actually a lot like, this is like a combination between quick jump and these. No, shield state. Let's actually get to work on programming this instead of having me sit here. This isn't really a tutorial, by the way. It's just basically just, I guess you could think of it as kind of like a Q&A session. Like if someone shows up and they want a question about the game, then yeah, they can ask me about it in the chat as long as it's an appropriate question. Attach script, shield state, create. This is going to be an extension of player state. Okay. In case you're interested, here's an explanation of how a player state works. It's basically just a regular node, except for it has its own process and physics process nodes that are called by the state machine node instead of just the way that a node normally processes or physics processes, which is like every frame. So this will make sure that I have control over when states are active and inactive. So like only one state can be active, and the right, I'll just this this is the controller for the state machine. Initialize, get children. Yeah, I got some overrides here, or overloads. I believe that's what they're called in C#. And then we have the functions that call process and physics process. Anyway, what's this? I'm not sure what this is, but I'm just going to leave it because I don't want to break anything. Okay. So first thing I like to use tabs instead of spaces. Apparently that's wrong, but I've never run into a situation where that's caused me issues. So I'm just going to keep using tabs. Okay. Actually, I should be using physics process. Okay. Huh. I forgot that this existed. Oh well. Okay. One thing I should also do is set up some easy to use paths or functions to control paths in like the animation tree system, because I don't like typing these things in all the time. I'd rather have like some sort of handler for that. And that way you could add like restrictions on the inputs. Yeah. No, apparently I spelled something wrong. Yeah. Why type it when you can just copy paste it, right? Hey. Oh, apparently I okay. That makes sense. I think that's how you I think that's how you spell shield. Yeah, sometimes I forget my I's and E's. Hold on a second. I'm doing it again. I don't need to do that. Blend amount. Knew that was a good idea. I was probably gonna run this and then get confused as to why it wasn't working. Okay. Oh, of course I spelled it wrong again. Or maybe I spelled it right. Who knows? You probably know. Anyone, any chatters? Nope. Just in case. Float. Trying to think of a good way to. Does it work if I cast a bool as a float? Does it actually like go 0 and 1, or is that just for integers? Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold up. Hold up. Am I overcomplicating this? Okay, all I need to do is to make this true when when using a shield and not standing, and false otherwise. Okay. Yes, I am overcomplicating this. If using shield I can't believe I forget this. And not stand. Okay. Set. Oh. Do the same thing but reverted. And then for this one, 0. Oh. A mound. A mounge.
Whenever you want to help yourself to make yourself a chicken sandwich, you can do that, okay?
Okay, thanks.
We're already eating.
Okay, thanks. Okay. So I think this layer of the process should work. I may have to adjust it. But yeah, ideally I should be able to just say whether I'm using the shield or not, and then this will handle it for me. And then I can use this to set the direction that the player is holding the shield. Okay, field state. Another thing I'm wondering is, should I apply gravity during shield state? I'm thinking probably yes, just in case something weird happens. I want the player to fall down, or maybe I should make it so if the player happens to be airborne, well, in shield state, he just switch to airborne state. I think that makes sense. Yeah. I usually use another state for reference because I usually can't remember exactly I do everything. Let's do something simple like, I think, normal state is not simple. Player state is just a blueprint. I could probably delete this. Okay, this one's pretty simple. Physics process. Set anim parameters. I think that should cover all my bases for shield state. I have to actually make the functions. Private void parameters. Set shield to false. The idea is that the player is kneeling. and can't move using this state. I guess it's a little bit misleading and it may confuse me in the future, but I can't really think of a better way to do it at the moment. I don't want to clutter the normal state anymore than I already have. Oh, one more thing I should add. Let's, no way, I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. I made a whole class to do that for me. Don't need to do it again. It's redundant. Okay. Player dot. Hmm. Actually, I may have to uh, do something a little bit different, a little bit more involved, because I believe the way I set up movement input is that it automatically takes like the camera direction into account, and this I actually don't want to do that. About how best to do this. I'll just copy this over and then figure it out. Don't think I need this anymore. And calculate movement should actually be pretty easy. At least I think it should be easy. Pretty much just players remain stationary, but gravity is applied. Or I could just not do that at all and make the player airborne. Actually, yeah, I think I'll do that. I'll just try to do this in jump state. Interpolated vector. Okay. Ah, the jump timer is stopped. Then player's airborne. Or no. Yeah. Yes. The player's grounded. He's grounded. If not, be something. It's not gonna be this. It's gonna be more like make a oh no, I might have to make a handler for the shield button. Oh, where's this in a different folder? Yes, I should make a shield button handler. Well, this hopefully shouldn't take too long. I imagine. Yeah. I need this. I need to export that. Hmm. I should make this private. Use getters. That's gonna break a whole bunch of things for sure. But You know, I'm pretty sure I wrote this a long time ago. Before I learned better programming methodologies, I guess. You want to make this assignable from other scripts you want, so I want it to only be assignable from within here. Hold basically means that the button's being held for longer than a few frames. Or for a certain number, a certain amount of time, not a few. I think it's bad. I think it's a bad idea to like specify a number of frames instead of like a specific period of time. If the frame rate varies, then it's gonna be different depending on the frame rate. I'm not completely against it. Like sometimes I have to. Like for ladders, there's like an exact 1 frame delay between. I think I explained this in an earlier stream, but like there's a 1 frame or 2 frame delay between when you call an animation and when it actually plays. So I want to time the so when the way that ladders work is like the player doesn't actually like move up, he kind of teleports from rung to rung. But I want to make sure that the teleportation between ladder rung to ladder rung is synchronized with when the animation plays, so that so it appears completely seamless. Don't want to get confused on my own scripts. So I'm changing the terminology to be a bit more more accurate. I think hold timer is pretty accurate. Can't attack. There we go. Now I'll do something similar to this. I don't think I need a hold timer for this. I could be wrong, but I don't currently have any plans for implementing functions for holding the shield button down. Should I do this though? Maybe I should. Maybe I should. What are the conditions? Player active. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And available attack actions. You know what I should do instead is turn here. Oh, wait. Now I'm not calling a function every frame. Get input from button. I think I can stick with that. I think it's easy to do this every frame. Do the button actions. Oh yeah, this makes it so that I can always access it without worrying too much about if the well, it just makes it easy to type. It means that I can go like attack button handler dot attack button handler instead of having to like locate the node in like the tree. So I could just say as soon as this appears, this is this. And I'll do the same for this. Yeah, sometimes autocomplete or autofill stuff makes things more difficult. I'm sure there's a way to turn it off, but I couldn't be bothered. Field button handler equals this. Oh, interesting. I have it set up with the save system. Wow. Get current save. Yeah, I think it was smart to have like a specific slot in the save file for like a weapon or shield. It can be simplified. No, I don't want it. Now let's go back to this. Okay. Again with this autocomplete stuff. Is instance valid global data dot player turn. The idea is that if the player doesn't exist in the current scene, then this shouldn't then return out the function like right away. button. Why do I have delta here? Oh, it's for the hold function. Okay, I don't need that. Not here. I should change this to shield. I think I mentioned this before, but I had blocking in at some point, and it worked. But now I want to make it compatible with but that was like with an older control scheme system, and I've overhauled the system since then, so got to re-implement it. There's the hold timer stuff. Set icon and text. I don't think I need to do anything for the shield button. I don't think I don't need to have like a shield or like a right trigger icon on the screen. I don't need to constantly let the player know that they can block. That should be pretty easy to tell if the player is like holding a shield. At least I think so. Can always change my mind later. Here's a quick list. I don't remember what this is. Oh, it's exported. It's exported. I'm just gonna quickly check to make sure that I can remember what it is. Sack button handler. Huh. Huh. Oh. I don't use staff anymore. Okay. Okay, now I also need to make a shield version of this. It's most definitely going to break as soon as I build it. But I feel like this should be somewhere else. Or I should change its name to like attack list. So I don't want multiple lists with the same data on it on different nodes. I think what this will do is it'll make it so that when loading a save file, the player will be equipped with the. Oh yeah, so this makes sense. So when the player is like loading a save file, it'll automatically re-equip whatever the player was using when he saved, and this should do the same thing but with shields. I was taught to always initialize these sorts of things if possible. I'm not sure how to initialize, how to make like a new, how to do it with this, so I won't. But for like regular variables like booleans and ints and floats, it's like always have like some sort of default value or like assign it so it's never null. That's what I was taught in like school. I think it makes sense. Any chatters? Nope. Yeah, I think I got that set up in a decent working order. Actually, I'm gonna get to work on fixing the inevitable problems. Yeah, like that. this work? Nope. And did I miss something? Display or something? Doesn't look like it. Oh. Okay. Looks like a successful build. Yep, successful build. Good. Player list. Player is not grounded. That's state. Oh, I gotta make my state references now. I just copied that. It's faster than typing it. And I gotta do this. Well, it's 6 o'clock, so I gotta finish up soon. I'll finish this for now. I think I need to implement anything like this. So the purpose of the zero out everything function is to make sure that when I leave this state, all of these are like, well, not all of these, but like, okay, what am I talking about? This. It's like these private vectors are like converted to zero and don't like carry over to the next time the player jumps. So what? If the player like jumps, then stops jumping, whatever number is left in those should be turned to zero. But since there are no dynamic private variables on this state, I don't think I need to make a zero out function. Else, if I hate writing if chains, but I can't think of a better way to do this thing. So if shield button handler dot shield dot just released same dot. So the player stops pressing the shield button while this state is active, and switch back to normal state. And it should also do this if Oh, what am I doing? Oh. Target reset button handler. Uh, Rest. So if the player starts like the player either lets go of the shield button or starts like presses like the Z target button in Zelda, then switch to normal state. Okay. I don't feel like testing this right now. I just hope that I did it right for now. Next time, maybe I'll probably I'll keep working on this, and then hopefully it'll be done by then, or at least at the code level, it'll hopefully be done. I'll have to figure out what sort of weapon to use as the shield. I'm thinking I have two ideas for shields. I'm thinking one should be like a garbage can lid. The other one should be like a wooden one that's made by the natives of the planets. I call them Kyrothians. Yeah, they're like those small furry creature things that are in some of the animation videos. Yeah, I'm thinking somehow the player will be able to acquire that pretty earlier in the game, and then later on in the game there can be other shields that the player can get. Something proper and sturdy that isn't made of wood. Okay, I think that is good enough for today. I'm going to end the stream. Have a good night.